history lives.
It is 6 o'clock in the heart of the Texas Hill Country, and you're listening to Eat, Play, Live with me, Andi P, the show that's chasing dreams and crushing goals. My goal here is to help you live a healthier, happier, more balanced life in 2022 and beyond. Our focus this year: learning to love ourselves unconditionally, no matter what season we're in. That's right. And if you're in Texas, then you know we've pretty much experienced all 4 seasons already this week, like pretty much just since yesterday. So what is going on with that? And where do you stand on this whole seasons thing? Are you one of those that feels like every season should have a certain amount of time, like 3 months, 2 to 3 months, right? And that's how it's supposed to be. And you're supposed to know what's expected during that period of time. Or do you like the way Texas does it, where it's just completely random and you have no idea and you never know what to wear? We were wearing tank tops yesterday and sweatshirts today and bundling up. Do you like the excitement of the variety? It really doesn't matter because it's going to do what it's going to do. But I do think that's an interesting thought because we're just wired differently, right? Some people love the cold. They're embracing it, excited to see little tiny snowflakes coming down today. And other people, like me, want to run to the beach as quickly as possible. I love the summer and the sunshine and, but we're just all wired differently. So, at least we get a wide variety of wardrobe options all the time. But you can't ever put away your winter clothes or put away your summer clothes. You can't switch out your closets in Texas like people in other states can do, because the minute you put it away, it's going to have to come right back out again. So, it's what we do. It's part of who we are. So it did get me to thinking, though, about our life and how there are seasons in our life, right? Some are more fruitful. Some are bitter. Some warm your soul. Others are a time to shed those things that no longer serve you. So I'm sure you've probably heard this in the past. They talk about people are in your life for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. That is true. So I want to read this and then let's break it down just a little bit and kind of take it apart and see what does that really mean as we go through our lives and look for ways to be healthier, happier, and more balanced. So when someone is in your life for a reason, it's usually to meet a need that you've expressed. They've come to assist you through a difficulty, to provide you with guidance and support, to aid you physically, emotionally, spiritually. They may seem like a godsend, and they are. They are there for the reason you need them to be there. But then, without any wrongdoing on your part, or perhaps at a most inconvenient time, this person will say or do something to bring that relationship to an end. Sometimes they die, sometimes they walk away. Sometimes they act up and force you to take a stand. What we must realize is that our need has been met, our desire fulfilled, their work is just done. The prayer that you sent up that brought them into your life has been answered, and now it's just time to move on. Then some people come into your life for a season because your turn has come to share, grow, or learn. They bring you an experience of peace or make you laugh. They may teach you something you've never done. They usually give you an unbelievable amount of joy. Believe it or not, it really is real, but only for a season. Lifetime relationships teach you lifetime lessons, things you must build upon in order to have a solid emotional foundation. Your job is to accept the lesson, love the person, and then put what you've learned to use in all other relationships and areas of your life. It's said that love is blind, and yet friendship is clairvoyant. That's a lot to think about, isn't it? Well, let's break this down, because the first section, people being in your life for a reason, it makes sense, but it sounds kind of harsh too, right? And then they're just gone, and we don't like it when they're just gone. And this could be a romantic relationship that this is talking about, referring to. It could be a friendship, but it could also be maybe a business connection that was useful and no longer needed, or a personal trainer that was guiding you toward a very specific goal. Maybe a teacher or an advisor that was helping you pass a test. So it's not always a bad thing that time is just through. But how hard is it to let go of people when the time has come? Well, I think social media actually makes it harder. I think that it's really changing the way we interact with people and the way we deal with the reasons that people are in our lives. It's like we feel like we can just maintain countless relationships with all these random people that normally would just come and go. I was thinking about some of the people that I'm friends with on Facebook, and I like that I'm friends on Facebook. They're interesting, and seeing what they are up to can be interesting. But people like the gal that used to be my dental hygienist in a city I don't even live in anymore, or my children's teachers throughout their lives, or maybe former co-workers. We've all gone in different directions, but we still have that connection. Maybe the bartender that had a really cool tattoo and you just randomly became Facebook friends that day. And now you look back and go, before social media was a thing, you would meet these people and you each serve your purpose, and then you move on throughout your life, and you really, for most counts, you wouldn't even give it a second thought. But now it's a big deal. And if you unfriend them, it's a big deal. Isn't that strange? It's just something that I was thinking about. So maybe that being there for a reason has kind of maybe we've lost that sense just a little bit. And maybe that's not necessarily a bad thing. Maybe the reason is now morphing into the season. Maybe these people are here for a season. And I have seen situations on Facebook where people who, you just had just a little tiny random connection, but because of the social media relationship, you actually reconnect in new ways. I have a girlfriend who I used to work with in San Antonio at a TV station there. And we were in a very similar season at that time. We were both working in the same industry. We were both pregnant with our second babies. And so we had a lot in common. And then I moved away and we both, went on and did our lives, but we've always stayed friends through Facebook. And then oddly enough, we both started traveling down a lot of the same roads in fitness. We were both training for bodybuilding competitions at the same time. We've both been doing triathlons. She's way better than I am. She's done like 2 Ironman already, full Ironman. But now we've entered a new season of connection that's totally unrelated to the previous one. So you never know which of the people in your circle are going to come back and maybe spend another season with you. So maybe there wasn't just one reason. something to think about. A season to me is just, it's a lot broader. And it doesn't, just like the seasons in Texas, it doesn't have a predetermined length of time. A season can be very short, something that you're going through or dealing with, or it could be a lot, it could go for years. I was trying to think of an example of what a season in my life that was very tangible, I guess would be the word. There was one lasted probably 12 years, okay? And I got really fascinated with religion. So I grew up not in a church of any sort. So I really didn't have a lot of knowledge when it came to religion. I mean, I knew the song, Jesus Loves Me, This I Know. That was it. Like, I'm an adult at this point, and still, that's all I know. And I have family members and friends who are very strong in their faith, and I didn't understand it. So I wanted to understand it. You know, I wanted to know. I had this new baby, and I thought, man, I think there's something more out there. So for 12 years, I went through a season of trying to learn what that was about, taking classes and studying and joining various churches, even working for a evangelical TV ministry. Boy, that's taken it to another level. But I just wanted to understand. And I learned a lot. And I met a lot of really interesting and wonderful people who came alongside during that season. And some of those people have stayed in my life and some of those people have not. But that's okay, because the things that I learned during that season, I will carry with me. So that's the kind of thing that I want you to think about when I talk about a season in your life. It's just interwoven into your life, but there's something about it that sets it apart from the whole. Other examples may be the season when you were parenting toddlers. That's a whole different place in your life, right? Your friends are all kind of in that same place and you're kind of doing those same things. Well, that is a specific season that you're probably really glad once it's over. Just saying. Battling a significant illness, something like cancer, that is definitely a season that's going to make an imprint on your life. And the people that come alongside you during that season are going to make such a difference in your life. Maybe becoming single after a divorce or after the death of your mate. You are suddenly thrust into a new season in your life. And how do you handle these seasons? You know, do you ever look back and reflect on them and just think, what did I learn? You know, or what can I even learn now from seasons in my past? If I look back and think, you know, during that one season that was really challenging to me, you know, I think I drank too much. I think I tried to numb the pain of that season. Or maybe there was another season where you became so focused on some specific goal that you lost sight of the beauty that was going on around you. That's something that you can learn from that time. And in the future, if you're faced with another challenging situation that's similar, you'll know to handle it a little differently. Maybe there was a season that you received just amazing joy from someone special, and you can look back on that and treasure that time. And maybe there was a season where you learned that you're a heck of a lot stronger than you thought you were. I hope you have a lot of seasons like that. What season are you in now? Do you know? If it's painful during this season, it probably means you're in a time of growth. I say it a lot, that growth does not happen within our comfort zone. Growth happens when we're uncomfortable. I'm sorry to tell you that because it's no fun. It's just the way it is. So how do you know if that's the deal? If you're struggling and you're going through a challenging time, is it because you're growing or what? What is going on? Well, I want to encourage you to get still and think about rain. So when I talk about rain, I was meditating actually yesterday, and I encourage you to meditate a lot, but I have to admit that I don't always do it myself. It's hard to get still sometimes and think about not thinking about things. But I was doing this meditation, and I should give some credit to Peloton meditation because this is where the idea came from. This gal that was leading the meditation was talking about RAIN as an acronym. And I want to go over that because it really, I don't know, I found it very helpful if you want to just take a moment in this season of growth. So RAIN, R, stands for recognize. Notice what is showing up in your life right now. Is there emotional, mental, physical, spiritual strain? Notice that. Then without trying to fix it or judge it, just recognize the effects that the discomfort is having on you. Okay? R for recognize. Just recognize what is going on. A, accept. Can you allow whatever it is you're dealing with to just be? Just let it be. It's happening. It's okay. Don't numb it. Don't avoid it. Allow the ebb and flow of life. It's messy. It's always going to be messy, but it's also beautiful. There's beauty in that mess. There are lessons to be learned in the discomfort. You know, I'm going a little bit away from my normal format where I talk about very specifically about food and exercise, but I do think about this when I say not to numb what's going on, because often we use food and drink to numb. And being uncomfortable is okay. When I was training with a trainer for a specific competition, I told her that I was hungry. I didn't think I was getting enough food. She would tell me what to eat and I would follow her directions. And she said, it's okay to be hungry and just be, just acknowledge, okay, and move on. You're going to get to eat again. It's going to be like in an hour. It's okay. Embrace the discomfort because there are lessons in the discomfort. So recognize, accept, and then I investigate. Investigate. How is the stress of what's going on around you showing up in your body? Mental and emotional turmoil equal physical expression. They're gonna come out. You cannot constantly be in a state of turmoil and not have it find some way to manifest physically. So do you grind your teeth at night? Have to wear a little thing to prevent you from grinding down your teeth? Do you get knots in your stomach, even an ulcer, taking it to that next level? But even just having like butterflies, like your body is just telling you something is going on here. Maybe you get stiff shoulders and you feel like you just constantly could use a massage. Maybe you're gaining some weight. That could be from numbing what's going on. And it also might just plain be from stress. Your body will manifest what's going on. So investigate what's happening. And then how the discomfort that you're dealing with, how did it begin? And again, this is not to judge it and it's not to criticize yourself, but just out of awareness and so that you can be accountable for what is going on in your life. And then N is for nurture. Hold yourself with compassion. The same way you would do for any other person that was dealing with something difficult, allow softness and forgiveness to yourself. Rain. Allow rain to cleanse and bring life to whatever season it is that you're in. The grass is not greener on the other side. It's greener where you water it. What's important to you? That's where you want to be watering. That's where you want to be putting your energy. That's the focus of this season. And snow counts too. We got just a teeny tiny little bit of snow today, so we'll count that as rain. That works. It's all precipitation. And around here, we'll take all that we can get, right? Then the lifetime. As I talked about, people are here for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Perhaps the harvest of the season will become the stuff that will nurture your mind, body, and spirit for a lifetime. It will. Every season that you go through grows you in a way that if you'll take that and hang on to it and use it, nurture it, it will become something that can last a lifetime. And that's the whole idea with Eat, Play, Live. This is about a lifestyle, a lifetime of making choices that are good for you, good for your body and good for your spirit and good for your mind, making you healthier and better for yourself and for the people around you. It just all goes together. It becomes